Welcome to the executive summary. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad challenges conventional wisdom about money, assets, and liabilities, offering a stark contrast between mindsets that can build or hinder wealth. Understanding these financial principles is crucial for any leader looking to optimize their personal and professional financial strategies. If you're ready to rethink your approach to money, like this video and subscribe. Let's get into it. Most leaders believe loyalty is earned through results and financial security through a steady paycheck. Robert Kiyosaki spent decades observing the world's most successful entrepreneurs and found the opposite is true. True financial freedom is not about working for money, but making money work for you. Failure to grasp this fundamental distinction condemns individuals and organizations to a perpetual struggle for resources, limiting strategic agility and stifling true innovation. Leaders who remain tethered to traditional income models will find their influence constrained, their teams less empowered, and their organizations less resilient in an increasingly volatile economic landscape. By the end of this analysis, you will possess a clear framework for distinguishing between assets and liabilities, understanding the mechanics of wealth creation beyond earned income, and identifying actionable strategies to build financial independence for yourself and foster a more financially intelligent culture within your sphere of influence. This book, published over 2 decades ago, remains a cornerstone of financial education, challenging conventional wisdom with insights applied by millions globally, from aspiring entrepreneurs to seasoned executives. We begin by examining the foundational premise that underpins this revolutionary perspective. In 1997, a book emerged that fundamentally challenged the prevailing wisdom of financial security, igniting a global conversation about wealth, work, and education. That book was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Kiyosaki, an investor, entrepreneur, and educator, distilled his unique upbringing into a powerful narrative. He was mentored by 2 contrasting father figures, his highly educated, yet financially struggling biological father, whom he termed his poor dad, and his best friend's father, a successful entrepreneur and investor, his rich dad. This dual perspective forms the bedrock of his financial philosophy. The core problem Kiyosaki addresses is pervasive financial illiteracy. Our traditional education systems, he argues, excel at preparing individuals for professions, but largely fail to equip them with the knowledge required for wealth creation. The conventional advice, go to school, get a good job, save money, is presented not as a path to freedom, but often as a subtle trap leading to a lifelong struggle for financial security. Rich Dad, Poor Dad became a landmark because it dared to contradict this deeply ingrained societal blueprint. It didn't just advocate for better saving. It championed a radical shift in mindset. Kiyosaki urged readers to move beyond the pursuit of a steady paycheck and instead focus on financial education, the strategic acquisition of assets, and entrepreneurial thinking. This perspective has resonated deeply with entrepreneurs, ambitious professionals, and leaders across sectors who seek to understand wealth creation beyond the confines of traditional employment. The central argument is deceptively simple, yet profoundly impactful. True financial freedom is achieved not by working harder for a salary, but by acquiring assets that generate income, and by understanding the crucial difference between assets and liabilities. This distinction, Kiyosaki posits, is the key to escaping the rat race and building enduring wealth. This book offers not just financial advice, but a philosophical framework for perceiving money, risk, and independence, making it essential reading for any leader committed to long-term prosperity and strategic autonomy. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. The first, and perhaps most provocative, principle Kiyosaki introduces is that the rich do not work for money. This statement often elicits confusion, as it challenges the very foundation of how most individuals perceive work and compensation. Kiyosaki argues that working for a paycheck, while necessary for many, is fundamentally a trap to the rat race. Individuals caught in this cycle work harder for more money, only to see a significant portion consumed by taxes and expenses, leaving them perpetually dependent on their next paycheck. The rich, by contrast, operate under a different paradigm. Their focus is not on earning a larger salary, but on making money work for them. This is achieved by strategically acquiring assets that generate passive income. These assets can take various forms: businesses that operate independently, income-generating real estate, dividend-paying stocks, or intellectual property. The objective is to build systems and own entities that produce revenue without requiring the owner's direct, continuous labor. This distinction is critical. It shifts the focus from an active exchange of time for money to the strategic deployment of capital and intellect to create self-sustaining income streams. Consider the example of Ray Kroc and McDonald's. While Kroc is celebrated for his vision in franchising the restaurant concept, his true genius, as Kiyosaki often points out, lay in his understanding of real estate. Kroc didn't simply sell hamburgers. He built a system where franchisees paid him for the land and the business model. The real estate itself became the primary asset generating wealth, far beyond the profits from burger sales. He made the land work for him, creating a vast, self-perpetuating income engine. As a leader, this principle compels a critical self-assessment. Are you primarily working for money, or are you strategically building or investing in assets that will generate income for you and your organization, thereby freeing you to focus on higher-level strategic leadership rather than operational minutiae? Lesson 2. Financial literacy is key. Kiyosaki asserts that formal education teaches individuals how to get a job, but it largely neglects the crucial skill set required to build wealth: financial education. He contends that understanding accounting, investing, and market dynamics is not merely beneficial, but absolutely essential for achieving financial independence. Without this knowledge, individuals are often at the mercy of financial advisors, market fluctuations, or conventional wisdom that may not serve their best interests. He places immense emphasis on understanding fundamental financial concepts: the income statement, the balance sheet, and cash flow. Crucially, he defines assets as things that put money in your pocket and liabilities as things that take money out of your pocket. This distinction is often counterintuitive to many, who might consider their home an asset, while Kiyosaki argues it can often be a liability if it generates expenses without producing income. True financial literacy, therefore, is the ability to accurately identify and acquire income-generating assets while minimizing liabilities. Elon Musk serves as a powerful real-world example. Beyond his engineering prowess and visionary leadership in fields like electric vehicles and space exploration, Musk possesses a profound understanding of financial modeling, capital raising, and market dynamics. His ability to secure billions in funding for ventures like Tesla and SpaceX is not solely due to his technical vision. It is equally attributable to his sophisticated financial literacy. He understands how to structure deals, manage cash flow, and navigate complex financial markets to fuel his ambitious projects. His financial acumen is as critical to his success as his technical genius. This lesson challenges leaders to look beyond their core industry expertise. How deeply do you understand the financial levers of your organization or your personal finances? What specific financial concepts to perhaps understanding a balance sheet, interpreting a cash flow statement, or evaluating investment opportunities to where you committed to mastering this quarter to enhance your strategic decision-making? Lesson 3. Mind your own business. This principle does not advocate for immediately quitting one's job. Instead, Kiyosaki encourages individuals to maintain their primary employment while simultaneously and actively building their own asset column. The core idea is that while working for someone else provides a steady income, true financial freedom comes from building something that belongs to you and generates wealth independently. Kiyosaki advises against simply working in your job. Rather, he urges you to work on your financial future by acquiring assets outside of your employment. This could involve investing in real estate, purchasing stocks, or, most commonly, starting a side business. The goal is to cultivate income streams that can eventually replace or significantly exceed one's primary salary, thereby providing a pathway to financial independence. It's about creating a parallel financial live that grows in the background. A quintessential example of minding your own business is Jeff Bezos. While working at D. Shaw & Company, a successful hedge fund, Bezos began Amazon out of his garage. He maintained his demanding corporate role while diligently building an asset that, over time, not only dwarfed his corporate salary, but transformed into one of the world's largest and most influential companies. He didn't wait for permission or for his job to provide his ultimate wealth. He actively constructed his own future. As a leader, this raises a crucial question. What side business or asset-building activity are you actively pursuing outside of your primary role that could eventually provide significant financial leverage or independence for you or your team? This isn't about distraction, but about strategic, long-term wealth creation. Lesson 4. The power of corporations and taxes. Kiyosaki delves into a topic often overlooked by the average employee: the strategic advantages afforded by corporate structures, particularly concerning taxes and asset protection. He explains that corporations are not exclusively the domain of multinational giants. They're legal entities that offer significant benefits to individuals and small businesses alike. His argument highlights a fundamental disparity in tax codes. Employees typically earn income, pay taxes on that income, and then spend what remains. Corporations, however, often operate differently. They earn income, spend on legitimate business expenses, and then pay taxes only on the remainder. This sequence allows for greater wealth accumulation, as expenses can be deducted before tax liability is calculated. Furthermore, corporations provide a layer of asset protection, shielding personal assets from business liabilities. The rich, Kiyosaki argues, understand and leverage these legal frameworks to their advantage, often employing sophisticated tax strategies that are unavailable to individual employees. Consider the common practice among successful real estate investors. Many form limited liability companies or other corporate structures. This is not merely for liability protection, though that is a significant benefit. It allows them to leverage a host of tax deductions on expenses such as property management fees, maintenance costs, and crucially, depreciation. These deductions can significantly reduce their reported taxable income, allowing them to retain more capital for reinvestment and further asset acquisition. The corporation becomes a powerful tool for wealth preservation and growth. This lesson prompts a critical inquiry for leaders. Are you leveraging available legal and financial structures, such as corporations or trusts, to optimize your personal or organizational tax efficiency and protect your assets? Or are you passively accepting the default tax implications designed for employees? Lesson 5. Invent money. Kiyosaki's concept of inventing money is perhaps the most abstract, yet profoundly empowering of his principles. It moves beyond simply earning or saving and delves into the realm of creativity, problem-solving, and calculated risk-taking. He posits that money itself is not scarce. Rather, it is the ideas, the financial intelligence, and the courage to act upon them that are truly rare. This lesson encourages readers to adopt an entrepreneurial mindset, to actively seek out opportunities, to identify unmet needs, and to devise innovative solutions that create value. This often means seeing potential where others see only obstacles or challenges. Inventing money can manifest as creating a new product or service, finding an innovative financing solution for a venture, or structuring a deal in a way that generates profit where none was apparent before. It requires a willingness to think outside conventional financial paradigms and to embrace calculated risks. Oprah Winfrey provides an exceptional illustration of inventing money. She didn't merely host a talk show. She transformed a local program into a media empire. She didn't wait for opportunities to be handed to her. She created them. She launched magazines, built a television network, and leveraged her brand and vision to generate wealth in ways that were unprecedented. Her genius lay in identifying a powerful connection with her audience and then creatively monetizing that relationship through diverse ventures, effectively inventing new revenue streams and entire industries. As a leader, this principle challenges you to look beyond existing frameworks. Where in your current role or industry can you invent money by identifying an unmet need, creating a new product or service, or finding an innovative funding mechanism that others haven't yet seen or capitalized upon? Lesson 6. Work to learn, not to earn. The final key lesson from Rich Dad, Poor Dad offers a strategic perspective on career development, particularly for those in the earlier stages of their professional journey. Kiyosaki advises prioritizing the acquisition of valuable skills and diverse experiences over simply chasing the highest immediate salary. This principle underscores the idea that certain knowledge and capabilities are themselves assets that will pay dividends far greater than a short-term increase in compensation. He encourages individuals to seek out roles that offer robust learning opportunities in critical business areas such as sales, marketing, communication, negotiation, and management. Even if these positions do not offer the most lucrative starting pay, the skills gained are invaluable for future entrepreneurial endeavors or for rising to senior leadership positions. These acquired capabilities become part of one's intellectual capital, enhancing one's ability to invent money and build assets later on. It is an investment in oneself, a long-term play for greater financial autonomy. Many successful startup founders exemplify this principle. Simultaneously, identify one potential asset, perhaps a small investment, a skill you could monetize, or a piece of property that you can begin researching or taking preliminary steps to acquire. This immediate clarity is the first step towards financial control. Move 2. Invest in financial education. Beyond this summary, commit to dedicating at least 2 hours this week to high-quality financial education. This is not about passive consumption, but active learning. Choose a medium that resonates: a book on investing, a reputable podcast series on real estate, or an online course on basic accounting principles. The goal is to deepen your understanding of how money truly works. After your chosen learning session, identify one new financial concept or strategy that you can apply either to your personal finances or to a decision within your organization. This consistent, deliberate effort builds your financial intelligence, an asset in itself. Move 3. Identify an asset-building side project. This week, engage in a brainstorming session to identify 3 potential side projects or investments that could generate passive income or build equity outside of your primary employment. Think creatively. Could it be a small real estate venture, an online business, a dividend stock portfolio, or even developing intellectual property? Do not filter for feasibility at this stage. Simply generate ideas. From these 3, choose one to research further. Outline the first 3 concrete steps you would take to explore its viability, perhaps contacting an expert, conducting market research, or drafting a preliminary business plan. This exercise cultivates the mind-your-own business mindset and encourages proactive asset creation. The insights from Rich Dad, Poor Dad are not merely theoretical. They are a call to action, a challenge to fundamentally rethink your relationship with money and wealth. If this deep dive has provided you with a valuable shift in perspective, we invite you to acknowledge that value. Please take a moment to like this video, ensuring these critical lessons reach more leaders seeking financial mastery. Subscribe to the Executive Summary for continued access to the most impactful leadership literature distilled into actionable intelligence. And to ensure you never miss our next analysis, activate the notification bell. Next week, we're breaking down Good to Great by Jim Collins, exploring the definitive characteristics that elevate companies from merely good performance to sustained excellence. True wealth is not measured by the size of your paycheck, but by the assets you acquire and your ability to make money work for you, granting you ultimate freedom and control. Invest in your financial intelligence. Your future depends on it. That's our executive summary of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Remember, financial literacy is key to building wealth. If you found this valuable, subscribe to the Executive Summary and hit the notification bell for more insights into essential business books.